As you are preparing to leave high school and start the next chapter of your education, all of you are here today for just one reason: to learn more about Bryant University. This may be your first visit to campus, or perhaps even your fourth or fifth visit. Choosing a college is an important decision. You are undoubtedly looking for a place where you will be academically challenged in the classroom and have the opportunity to expand your comfort zone through co-curricular activities. You are likely to be looking for a university that has a faculty that is committed to your growth and success, and a diverse student body where lifelong friendships will be formed. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Paige Andrews, who found that very place in Bryant University. Paige is a senior from Middleborough, Massachusetts, pursuing a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration with dual concentrations in Human Resources Management and Sociology. She is currently a member of the Student Ambassador Program and sits on the executive board of the Alliance for Women's Awareness. This past summer, Paige worked as an intern at Liberty Mutual Insurance and recently accepted a full-time position after graduation with that company in the Human Resources Development Program. A fun fact about Paige: this summer, Paige got her motorcycle license and taught herself how to play the ukulele. Paige?
Wow, good morning. Welcome to Bryant University's Fall Open House. I'm very excited to have you all visiting the place that I have been lucky enough to call home for 4 fun and fruitful years. Starting the very second that you found your seat here, starting now, you have begun creating your path to becoming the ultimate version of yourself. Now, no pressure. This is not a straight shot path. You're not stuck on the track you begin on. These paths are winding and ever-changing, and I tell you that from personal experience, believe me. So enjoy the ride. Enjoy your day at Bryant. Right now, no maps are necessary. At Bryant University, you are challenged and empowered to, as I'm sure you've read in our brochures, create your path, expand your world, and achieve your success. My college search began in June prior to my senior year. I toured around college campuses all across New England. I was waiting for a spark, for love at first sight, for my soulmate campus, but nothing happened. I began to think I would have to compromise when it came to making my college decision, and so I started making excuses for why these schools really should be the right fit. That was until one morning in August when my parents dragged me against my will, actually, to Rhode Island, and I had already made up my mind. I was about to slump around another college campus and leave, and then when we turned the corner at Bryant University, everything changed. I was greeted warmly by a flock of smiling student ambassadors, and almost immediately I began to feel their happiness. As the day's activities progressed, something strange began to happen. I started to feel this little tingle in my toes, and I felt a little flutter in my heart, and I knew I belonged in the Bryant community. My parents and I found ourselves constantly meeting eyes, and we were smiling at each other during the tour, during the information sessions, silently saying to each other, "Yep, this is the one." That day would not be my last visit to Bryant. Even after applying early decision, I sealed the deal that fall. I came back for tours, for information sessions, for an interview, for a day with class, both fall and spring open house. I made the Bryant webpage my homepage and wore my Bryant t-shirt whenever it was clean, sometimes when it wasn't. Okay, I was a little excited to become a Bulldog. See, I felt so at home here that I couldn't wait until move-in day to visit Bryant University. So September 2010, move-in day finally rolls around. I learned the hard way that I could not fit my every belonging into my room, and that purchasing a white throw pillow and blanket set was a terrible idea. I learned a lot during my freshman year. During that time, I really threw myself into creating my path at Bryant. I utilized the university's resources, taking personality tests, having my resume critiqued by the Amica Career Center. I visited the Intercultural Center. I even learned how to belly dance and performed in a cultural dance expo. Also, during my freshman year, I became a student ambassador, so now I get to be one of those crazy, perky parking lot wavers that greeted you this morning. I began a work-study job on campus. I tried my hand at Taekwondo, so watch out, and I engaged in first-year programming and activities. I really began to find myself at Bryant University. So when I entered, I came in as a freshman as a business administration major. Simple as that. Now as a senior, I have a dual concentration in sociology and human resources management. This wasn't my initial plan, but as I mentioned before, these paths are winding and ever-changing. Pairing business and liberal arts in my undergraduate degree has helped me to understand both my courses and the world around me from a more multidimensional viewpoint. Actually, throughout my various internships, time and time again, I felt a very strong competitive advantage against my fellow interns, because I, as a Bryant student, was able to take both a business-minded and sociological approach to problems, interactions, and assignments. This is something that potential employers just love. They go crazy for it. In fact, my Bryant blend was so intriguing to them that I actually scored a job before my senior year even began. This coming June, I will launch my career in human resources in a rotational HR development program at Liberty Mutual Insurance, with rotations in various locations across the United States. Now, I'll have you know, this integration of business and liberal arts, it's not unique to me. Every single student who leaves this university leaves with a major in one discipline and at least a minor in the other. Some of my classmates' academic pairings might sound totally crazy to you until you imagine the possible career paths. Accounting with Spanish, environmental science with business administration, finance with film studies, psychology with entrepreneurship. Possibilities are endless here. Having this opportunity to dip my toes into varied areas of study has been invaluable. I ended up diving in where I initially did not plan to swim, into previously uncharted sociology waters. During my sophomore year, once I had all my academics figured out, I realized I needed to extend myself beyond my Bryant community, beyond my little Rhode Island utopia. I needed to expand my world. Finally, I became convinced that President Makeley was not kidding when he promised that almost all of us would leave this university with at least one stamp on our passports. With a globally focused first-year curriculum, Bryant quickly teaches us the importance of intercultural awareness, understanding of international affairs and business practices, and the overall worth of travel and discovery. That being said, many of our students choose to study abroad during their time here. Europe was the destination of choice for most of my peers and is historically the most popular study abroad destination. That seemed pretty neat, but after 2 years of being challenged academically, I was ready to be really challenged culturally. So, believe it or not, little homebody New England Paige went on to spend half of her junior year studying in New Delhi, India. That semester was awesome, but it was certainly no vacation. In fact, it was often stressful and sometimes even scary because it was so far outside of my comfort zone. So I'd like to share with you all one of the most powerful moments from my semester abroad, although it is hard to choose just one. During this particular time, I had taken a trip to a village called Jadera in the foothills of the Himalayas. This village was very different from the city where I had been living, as hardly any of the villagers spoke or understood any English, and water was gathered and carried from a river rather from the tap. My appearance was even more alien than it was in Delhi, although I was wearing traditional Indian dress. So we're on our way to meet this woman who claims to be possessed by the goddess Kali. Cool stuff. Cool weekend trip. On our way there, we're tripping down piles of rocks and literally pushing our way through piles of corn. It's only 100 degrees and humid enough that my hairdo has tripled in diameter. I'm getting a little stressed, a little tired, I'm itchy from my bug bites, and sweaty at my sticky layers of thick clothing. And at that point, I just wanted to go home. I wanted air conditioning, I wanted Dunkin' Donuts, I wanted a hug from my mom, and I just wanted everything to be easy again. Just as I was huffing and muttering all of this under my breath, I saw something. Totally out of place, I saw this small, roofless concrete structure. Written on the structure, clear in red paint, clear in English, actually, was the phrase, "Better to bend than to break." Whoa. Better to bend than to break. I had to sit down and breathe and take that in for a few minutes. That moment was very impactful for me because that was when I realized if I wanted to be happy and successful during my time abroad, I needed to be more flexible. I needed to be without expectations. I needed to forget comparison. This moment has stuck with me, and that lesson in flexibility has proven to be invaluable, both as a Bryant student and as a job seeker, and really just as a person. But had I not created my path at Bryant University, I can almost guarantee you I would not have expanded my world past my hometown south of Boston, let alone South Asia. This is only one small example of how Bryant University has changed me for the better. So listen, I could stand up here all morning and I could tell you how I felt when I was in your shoes as a prospective student. I could go on and on about how great Bryant is, and it really is. I could tell you about our intensive and enriching academic programs, our passionate faculty. I could tell you about our spirited athletic teams. I could tell you about our vibrant and inclusive community of students, our breathtaking campus, about the infinite numbers of ways that you could get involved. Actually, I would love to, but I won't. You don't need me to, because today, you are here to experience Bryant University for yourself. So if at any point during this open house, you feel that little tingle in your toes, or you feel a flutter in your heart, come back and visit us again. Today, you begin creating your path. So ask yourself, would you expand your world and achieve your success at Bryant University? I hope so. Thank you.